The reason you are unhappy and unsatisfied is because you're dishonest. Now, I don't mean that in a sense of being dishonest with other people. I mean specifically you're dishonest with yourself. There are countless people that have seemingly normal and on paper, quote unquote, fulfilling lives. But for some reason at the end of the day, they find themselves just scrolling mindlessly. They find themselves drained, even though nothing particularly draining happened to them during the day. If you feel like that, and if that resonates with you, it's because you are not living honestly. It's the same reason that you can have one of these really big yoga head guys in the middle of the mountains with maybe 5 cents and a really cool looking stick to his name, and he is not just outwardly happier than most people, but he's actually categorically happier. Like if they were to do a scan of his brain, he has more latent serotonin and dopamine, giving him more joy throughout his days. And I think it's because he's not hiding anything. Being dishonest can come in a lot of different ways. And the biggest that I've seen is hidden sin or hidden secrets or hidden lies that people keep from their partners, from their friends, from their families. Basically anything that you are secretly ashamed of. And you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. An instance or a habit probably popped up in your head whenever I said that. Something that you can't share with the people that you love and you care about the most. And it is absolutely draining the life out of you. Sometimes we try to convince ourselves that, oh no, it must be another reason. It must be because of the weather today, or it must be because I need a better job, or it must be because I just need better friends. But that's not true. It's because you're not living honestly. There is a hidden darkness that comes with keeping secrets in that sense, that takes active effort from your soul and your brain and your body to keep and hold in. I mean, whenever you think about it, you probably get a physical reaction as well. You probably feel it in your stomach, or your ears start to ring, or you get like a little buzz in your neck. That's because you're spending energy keeping that secret, even just subconsciously. Another thing people are living dishonestly about is their ambitions and their dreams. The biggest weight that I have ever seen on somebody is somebody that's 80 years old and looks back and regrets the life decisions and choices that they've made when they were 20 to 30. How sad is that? Genuinely. That breaks my heart to hear and to think and to imagine. Most people think that if they're neutral, life just stays at this stagnant, flat plane, when in reality, we're walking uphill. If you're stagnant, you regress. Suppressed honesty always leads to suffering. And I promise you that if there is that hidden sin, if there is these hidden aspects of your life, it may seem scary and it may seem daunting to want to bring those into the light, but that's because it's feeding off of you. It doesn't want to be revealed, because whenever that happens, you stop giving energy to it to fill it nutritionally, and you actually give energy to destroy it with truth and with honesty and to bring in the correct emotions. It's almost like, it's literally brain altering. You're living in a false version of reality, and that is a scary, scary place to be, because that carries everywhere throughout your life. If you can comfortably live in a false version of reality, there's no deep end, there's no caution to go. It will literally dump your psyche into an abyss. You will keep these things hidden in order to quote unquote protect a relationship, or to quote unquote protect something else, when in reality, if you actually valued that person and you saw them rightly as a son or a daughter in Christ, then you would know that it is so wrong to try and manipulate like a puppet the strings of their life. It's like trying to put on a show for them that they're not a part of and that everybody just gets to point and laugh at in your subconscious. Your silence is writing your misery, and your honesty could rewrite your life. You have to take action now. You hear this, there's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is right now. And I believe it's the same exact way with living an honest life, with your career, with the hidden darkness that you keep inside of yourself that's slowly draining you, whether you realize it or not. I also think it's a scary thing to tie honesty with chaos. They say, oh, well, I can't be honest about that because that'll send things into a spiral. What a scary thing to relate honesty to, whenever it should show the amount of integrity that you're willing to have and endure in pursuit of truth, in pursuit of living an honest life, in pursuit of bringing not just yourself but the people around you to ground themselves in reality, so that way you can actually have a foundation to build peace on. Peace can't be built on lies. It absolutely will not stand. The pure weight and goodness of a peace and joy-filled life cannot stand forever on lies and a false foundation. Sure, it might be able to hold it up for a bit, but eventually it will slip in one aspect or another. You weren't meant to live small and dishonest and miserable. You are meant to walk in freedom. You are meant to walk in reality. You are meant to walk in truth. You are meant to walk with a heart that's not weighed down by all this hidden darkness, whether that comes from something that you know isn't right or that you have shame around in your heart, or from something that you're not pursuing that you know deep down that you'll regret in 60 years if you don't try. I say this just because I've been blessed and lucky enough to be around enough people that have lived enough time, that have gone through these things, that have gone through what it's like living in hidden sin and then having it come out 40 years down the line, or looking back when they're 70 and wishing that they had gone and moved to a new place, wishing that they had spoken to that person, wishing that they had tried to start that business. But the only difference between them and you is you have the time to change. What a blessing opportunity is. You know why it's such a blessing? Because it's one of the only quantifiable things that people can't get back. The rarity of something implies its worth. So how rare is it to find this message, to have this mental shift in a position and a time in your life where you have the opportunity to change? I know that I talked about it in a sense of there being this quote-unquote too late, but it's exactly like I said before. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And trust me, I know it's hard. It's going to be hard. But one thing that I can promise you from it being hard is that it's going to be worth it.